Before the world sees your wins, your soul has to feel your work. It's the reps nobody applauds that produce the wins that do, all through a shifting of your identity into a dominator. This is all done in the dark every single day. So let me be your guide as I welcome you to this episode of the Dark Work Daily. Thursday, back at it. Now, we're going to talk today about the thing that you want. I talk about a dream often, right? A dream, the idea you want, the goal you want it to accomplish. But I don't know if we oftentimes unpack exactly what that means. So I want to talk about what that means today, because I have found that there's a space outside of where you're at now that you want to step into, and I call it the light, like respecting the light you want to step into. Because if you're going to move towards something, one of the building blocks of the dark work mentality is respecting the light, which means acknowledging a few things. I'm going to unpack what this is and what these steps are. But the first thing is you must think about what is the light you want to step into. And I want you to write this down because it's going to go in your day book, and I want to unpack this. What is the light you want to step into? What stage of life do you want to step into? You want to be in the stage of a great dad, stage of a great mom, the stage of a great spouse, the stage of a great business owner, stage of a great leader, and whatever it may be. Like, where do you want to step into this amazing light of life? Great shape, I don't know, leader of a coach of a team in some manner. It doesn't matter what it is. But I want you to think about, what does that look like? Feeling-wise, visual. How could you tell me what this thing is in a way that my brain can see it in my mind's eye? Because for a lot of us, what happens is we don't clarify what that is. So we don't have an emotional connection to it. If you don't have an emotional connection to it, because your brain never saw it, you will not subconsciously work towards it. I need your brain to be thinking about it all day, because it perseverates over the thought of what it is. It leans in and it's just always thinking about it, right? It's always like it's going to happen. Like, I used to think of the stage. I want to be on a stage in front of 10,000 people. I would think about it. I would visualize it. I would see what had to be done to get there. And so my small day-to-day actions would be driven in that direction without even paying attention to my decisions. I'd be moving, just getting things done, creating stuff. But I noticed at a certain point, my brain and body knew what needed to be done to get there. Was I doing it was the question. And the more I did it, the better it got. The more I did it, the better it got. Now, I would just stay in this pocket of doing this because I respected the light. Now, what I mean by respecting the light is different. There's essentially three things to respect here. And I now call this dirt work, by the way. But respecting the light is it's the same exact language. I want you to think about where in the world you want to step into. What's the thing you want to accomplish? Because I want you to respect a few things. What is the thing you want? Because you need to understand the weight of what it is, how heavy it's going to be. The worst thing you can do is step into this piece, and then all of a sudden just things fall apart because you got too overwhelmed right out of the gates. This is why the dirt work's required, because if you're going to come out of the dirt one day, I want you to think about, when you exit the dirt, what is the stage you're on? Because part of the dirt work is digging into the muck and the mud of who you are, how you do things, and then also how you have to structure and change the roots of yourself to step out of that space, so when you break ground and you enter the light, you're prepared for it. So part of it is like, what is the thing that's going on underneath the dirt in the dark you have to focus on? But before we go there, what do I want to step into later? What do I want later? What can I visualize in my mind's eye that makes me acknowledge this thing, go, I understand it's going to be hard work. I'm prepared for it. So when you hit your first roadblock, you don't shut down. Second part of this is, who already is there? Who's there? Because I know there's a lot of people who have what you want that you don't like. I know, because I had that. I look at people and go, man, I would love to have that, but I'd never wear that. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't be with those people. I don't want to be seen like that. So what I would do is not acknowledge what they've accomplished, because I diminished what they were doing with it, which is the wrong way to face it. I need you to look at someone and go, what are they doing? I may not like who they are, what they're doing, but I got to respect that they are there. They've made the money. They have the relationship. They have the material. They have the impact. They have the following. I wouldn't want to do what they're doing with that, but I want to have a piece of that and do something of my desire with it. If you don't do that, you will rob yourself of the lesson sitting right in front of you. There's a lot of they say success leaves clues. Success does not only leave clues with people you like, it leaves clues with everybody who has a success. So respecting those who have it. Third thing is respecting your required work. What do you have to do? What is the thing that's going to be different? What's going to make your butt pucker, unfortunately, to get this thing done? Because if you don't think about this, you're not going to do that work. You'll find little loopholes and uncomfortable things or comfortable things to do that don't move the needle for you. And now you're going to find yourself, all effort given, no outcome, no progress, nothing you want in life. So you have to figure out what is the work you have to do. Now, I call it dirt work now. I've changed this language because I love the idea of what it means to dig into the dirt, to change the roots, to seed something different for yourself. So when you start doing the work in the dark, you're growing deeper roots and getting stronger. When it's time to break ground and enter what's called the light, you're prepared for it. You're strong, you're rooted, you're prepared. Now, the truth is, at the end of the day, dominators, they put the work in that the goal deserves and requires. Like, that's what they do. They put that work in crazy levels, but they have to know what the work is. See, most people skip this step of respecting the light. They want the outcome without honoring the cost of it. And they want to be able to just start moving without knowing if it's the right movement. Remember, Stephen Covey had a book that I read, and it was talking about this idea that a lot of folks, they don't pay attention to where they're chopping through the forest. They just start chopping away. Somebody has to be chopping. Someone has to be paying attention to the direction they're chopping. If you start chopping away but aren't paying attention because you didn't respect the light, you're going to pop your head up and be a complete different direction from where you want to be, but tired. You have to pay attention to what's required to make this happen. If you want the outcome but don't honor the cost, you will fall short of it. It's all about taking your own ambitions seriously enough to prepare for them and what they'll demand of you more so. When this takes place, things lock in, life changes. When you eventually do this true dark work, you can actually emerge and see what you wanted right in front of you and live within that dream. So in your actual dark work day book, I want you to write this down. For your dirt work, where do you have to pay attention to what your work is to do in the dark? What's the thing you have to dig into and like uncover and look into the dark of like what is in the mucky mud of your soul that's got to be affected and changed? What do you have to get rid of as your ego portions, right? Then what is the work that somebody else did to get out of the dirt? And then what is your work to get out of the dirt? What do you have to do? Where do you have to plant seeds differently to grow deeper roots to emerge later on? Write this stuff down. I'd love to know what it is for you. At minimum, write in the community when you get there and your day book, what is the actual light you want to step into? When you emerge from that dirt, what does your life look like? What is it you want to have as part of your life? People, friends, relationships, money, time, a body? What do you want your life to look like? Because if you don't know what that is, you're going to spend your time digging around in empty dirt, planting nothing, then nothing will grow. Or what does grow, you want to enjoy. So for you, the idea is, where must you do the dirt work? If this episode stirred something in you, good. That means there's work to be done. Don't ignore it because listening is just the beginning. Because real change happens when you engage and you commit. So I invite you to join the Dark Work community inside the Dark Work app, which is where you communicate with amazing people on the same journey as you. You can find it on the App Store and the Google Play Store right now. Step into the conversations that sharpen your habits, strengthen your identity, and keep you locked in to the dark work.